Welcome back to My Big Fat Mess. I'm Anthony Ferraro, and today we're going to do some awesome cooking. Now that the weather is warming up, there is nothing better than fresh Australian produce, and there's nothing better than fresh Australian seafood. And we are really blessed today to have some amazing Merimbula Rock Oysters. Come have a look at this. I've got Merimbula Rock. You can use Sydney Rock. You can use anything really. But personally, when it comes to oysters that you're going to cook, I prefer using a rock oyster. Whether it's Sydney Rock or Merimbula Rock, what you're going to find is these ones here, they're a little bit smaller. So in being a little bit smaller, they pack just that little bit more of a punch. Bacon, 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 bacon. We have some amazing bacon. So this is a really nice smoky diced Lucas bacon. I couldn't tell you how much that is, but by the looks of it, that looks like about 350 grams-ish. I've got 4 dozen oysters, so I want to make sure I've got enough bacon in there just to really flavour it. We've also got some Worcestershire Sauce. A lot of people call it Worcester sauce. You need to go and watch how this stuff is made. I won't tell you because it's a bit full on. But in saying that, do yourselves a favour. It's pretty incredible how they make this stuff to get the flavours that they get. We've got some tomato sauce or ketchup, and I've got a little bit of Tabasco as well. So you could use something like a chili paste, you can use something like a sriracha. The only reason I like the Tabasco is because it's got that little bit more zing. I find it's got a little bit more vinegar in it in terms of that, the way that it kind of hits those key notes. So a little bit more vinegar, a little bit more zingy. Kilpatrick oysters. A lot of people think that it originated in Scotland, which it didn't. It actually originated in San Francisco. So this kind of originated around 1894. So it's been around for a really long time. And it was named after Colonel John Kirkpatrick. So these used to be called Kirkpatrick oysters or Phil Kirk oysters or Kilpatrick oysters, however you want to say it. That's basically the origins of it. So it was named after that gentleman. And the chef of the hotel that they were working at created this dish and then named it after Colonel John Kirkpatrick. So a little bit of history for you, it's pretty cool. Because these have been shucked and they've been transported and whatever, they're in close proximity, bits of shell and stuff break, and it does tend to go in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wash these oysters first. So anytime I've got shucked oysters, I always wash them. Really simple. Get yourselves a nice big bowl that'll actually fit everything, because we're going to put the actual oyster itself and the shell inside. Plenty of ice. So why do we wash oysters in icy cold water? I don't want to drop the temperature too much because it's going to alter the creaminess. So I want it nice and cold, and it's also going to keep them really crisp. And then just 3 decent sized lemons. So with my lemons, you know that I like rolling them before I squeeze them or juice them. What this does is it loosens up all of the fibers inside. It starts to activate the oils in the skin and just puts this beautiful lemon flavor in there as well. The other thing is lemons and oysters go really, really well, and just that little bit of acidity with those just makes them a little bit sharper. Really, really nice. Okay, and then look how much juice comes out of those, and I throw in the skins as well. Look how much juice comes out of that. And all simply by just rolling the flesh. Give that a little mix, dunk them in and open them up. Dunk them in, open them up, dunk them in, open them up. All right, I'm gonna give all these a clean, so come and have a look. So that's the shell, basically. And what I do is I just give it a little rub. I wanna get as much of that grub, all that stuff out of there, which is done. Put it on your tray that you're gonna cook in. Now you're never gonna know which oyster belonged to which shell. Doesn't really matter, that's part of the fun. And then literally, just give your oysters a little bit of a rinse. Be delicate with them, obviously, because they are beautiful. I mean, look at that, it's gorgeous. And then just plop it back inside. All right, all the shells are washed. The actual oyster itself is washed. And what I like to do is just take them out, really be gentle with them, and pop them in a bit of a strainer, because I want to get as much of this, I guess, washing liquid off them as well. Like I said, this is just to add a small dimension and to get any grit or dirt or bits of shell out. It's not to add terribly too much flavor, because the flavor that I want to get here is from the bacon and the sauce that we create for it. All right, so I've tipped out a big chunk of that water. Now, obviously, forget the lemon seeds that are in there, but you can see all this. These are little bits of shell,
And then there are also other little bits of grit and dirt. And if you put your fingers in there, you can actually feel it's quite sticky. So that's why I wash all my oysters. So oysters are ready to go. Now I've got these in a tray that's been lined with some alfoil. You can line it even with a bit of baking paper. It's up to you. This does get messy, and we're going to cook these under the grill at quite an intense heat. And when you are cooking with sauces and things, it does tend to bake it on. So I always tend to line my tray, but they're ready to go. Now we're gonna get, I guess, the ingredients ready. The first thing to do is to cook off your bacon. I know a lot of people don't do this and they just put fresh bacon, it goes inside, then it goes under the salamander and it gets cooked on the salamander. I think that's lazy. Cook it first, get it crispy, start activating it, get some of those oils out and use some of that oils in the cooking because that's where the flavor comes from. So now that we've got that clear, cook it first. Don't be lazy. Cook your bacon. Don't just let the salamander do all the work. Get in there. Get it going. So this bacon comes from 4 Stelle Salumi. So thank you to Tony and Nadia for that one. This is a really nice smoky bacon, and I love the way that they do their bacon. If you can't get a hold of 4 Stelle Salumi, what you can do is get a hold of Bertocchi. So that's I think it's an Italian brand that imported that comes in. Now they do a really nice smoky bacon, and also Lucas Meats, they also do a nice smoky bacon. And look, if you've got a great butcher in your area that you know and you love the way they do their bacon, support those guys. Go out there and get some really good quality bacon. Don't just buy that stuff off the shelf at the supermarkets. It doesn't do any justice or anything good for anybody. All right, bacon is ready. And look, we've got some really nice crusties on there. There's a lot of caramelization. Now, I know that looks dark, but trust me when I say it is not burnt. It's actually amazing. And that's gonna add little pops of crunch, little pops of salt. Really, really nice. What we're gonna do now is make our sauce. So I've got about 4 dozen oysters. So I'm just gonna tip this upside down to see how much is in there. Perfect. So it's a little bit more than half a bottle, and that's what I'm gonna need. I'm gonna say that's about 150 mils in there. Now, ketchup, tomato sauce, whatever you've got, whatever you want to call it. Make sure that you squeeze a little bit out first. I don't want that first little bit that's in there because it starts where it separates. I don't want that in there, but what I want is the rest of it. So why are we putting tomato ketchup in there? This is going to give us a little bit of acidity. It's also going to give us a bit of sweetness because it's high concentrated amount of sugar in this. So we're going to have sweetness, we're going to have a bit of acid, a little bit of vinegar in here as well. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, done, that's it. It only needs a touch. And with this one here, we're not putting this in for it to be chili. We're putting this in here for a little bit of zing. Like I said, that vinegar content as well, just to bring it up. And I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, done. That's all it needs. You just wanna make sure that you're mixing it up enough so that everything is dissolved in there and we don't have big clumpy bits or anything. We want everything to be dissolved. Now we're gonna assemble everything. So while we're assembling, turn on your grill. I'm gonna put my grill at 220 because I want it nice and hot. Use your spoon and start spooning your bacon inside. All right, that's done. So I've gone through and I've given them all some bacon. Now that we've got, and we know we've got enough excess, you wanna make sure that you don't go tight ass on the bacon. Don't go tight ass on the bacon! So let's top them up. Let's give it all some flavor. So anywhere where you've gone tight ass, top it up. Everything tastes better with bacon. Even bacon tastes better with bacon. Right? Bacon tastes better with bacon. Now, we just give it a little drink. Done. 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 I've just missed the mark by like 2 oysters. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a little bit more, so that way I'm definitely not going tight ass. And if there's a little bit left over, if you like it, you can always put some on later and like, it's even better. Ooffala boofala. Just look at that. Now make sure when you're putting this stuff in the, under the grill, not in the oven, make sure that you've got a steady hand because it's easy to lose all your hard work and all that amazing juice. So nice steady hands, and that's that. So that's gonna go in there for anywhere between 4 to 7 minutes. It just depends on how powerful your grill is, what kind of heat you've got in there, are there any hot spots with your elements? So yeah, at the 4-minute mark, so we'll go at 5 past. So 18:06, I will check them, that gives me exactly 4 minutes. I'll pull them out, have a bit of a look, see if there's any spots, maybe spin the tray around, put them back in, or take them out, and that's all there is to it. Okay, we've hit our magic mark. We're at the 4-minute mark. So let's pop them out. That looks to be quite good. I might only go for maybe 1 or 2 more minutes. Now you can see there's plenty of juice that's leaked out. Don't worry, because we're going to capture all that juice and put it back into our little pouring pot and resource them when they come out. Just give them a touch. Like I said, we're broiling here, right? So we want them a little firm, but not too firm. And we want a little bit more color. So I am happy to spin these now. It looks like there is just a slight variation with the temp. So that's cool. I'm gonna spin them and then I'm gonna put them back in there for 2 minutes. All right, so we're at 8 minutes. Let's get these out. These are gonna be absolutely amazing. So do be careful because they are super, super hot. It's just firm. It's just a little bit bouncy. There's not a lot of squish to it. So try and mix it all up. Get all that there. And then from a height, let's see if I can do it without making a mess. Hey! So I put the hot fluid into that little bit of leftover with the cold one. Why? I want it to be at the right temperature so that when I top these up, it cools them down. They're the right temperature to eat them and you can eat them straight away. This is basically how I used to do it at the restaurant. So look, do it how you want it, but this way, there's nothing better than having the oysters arrive at the table at the perfect temperature, and that way you can smash them down straight up. Dominic!
Yeah.
Oh, and he appears. So today, you're a vampire.
That's why I came so fast.
That's why he came so fast, just like that. Boom. All right, mate, well, these are yours.
Yep.
I made these for you with lots of love.
Yep.
And for your mum.
Yep.
Eat one. Buon appetito. Was it good?
Delicious.
Well, that's basically it. Oysters Kilpatrick, Calabrese style, or Oysters Kilpatrick, however you want to call them. These are absolutely amazing. Oh, they smell divine. I hope you enjoy these as much as we're going to. My little vampire here is going to devour these now. But you guys have a great day.
Oh, and also be very careful because it can be sharp.
Can be sharp, he's not wrong. All right, guys, have a good one. Buon appetito.